Hi. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hello. Hello. Hi, Lankuri. Thank you for the resub. 3 months already. That's wild. What is going on? What is going on? 3 months already. I've lost the plot. I don't know where I am. I don't know how long it's been. But I do know it's been 3 months. This is good. Hello, M0. Oh, you're at school. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, don't skip school to watch the stream. Good. Stay in school. This is important. And hi, Nightmind. Hello. How are you all doing today? I hope you're all good. So I have absolutely zero idea what I'm doing. That's it. That's it. That's all I got. I got no idea what I'm doing today. No, that's literally it. That's it. Stream. Bye. Sorry, I got nothing else. Bye. Okay, no, but for real, for real. Okay, I have two choices. Either I can write R code, or I am guiding the raid. Yes. But either I can write R code, or I can read papers. I don't know what to do because they're both important. I have no preference, so I wanted to know. Does anybody have a preference? Are there any preferences? Because yeah, I need help. I need help and emotional support. My brain's not working. I don't know what I'm doing. That's how I'm doing. But yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all I got. I don't know what I'm doing. What is the preference? Is the music too loud? I think it is. Yes. I'm so tired. I had a very stressful morning. I had a interview thing for something, and I am um scared. That's it. I'm scared. I'm scared. My brain stopped working ever since, and I've just been sat here like blah, blah, blah. I don't know what's happening. I love code. I vote R. Okay, okay. We've got a vote of one. We've got one vote. I think that is valid. I think that is valid. I can do R. I have some analysis I was working on. Very cool. I think it's the same one I was working on last. Might be. It looks a bit different to last time. I will say that. It looks a bit different. Let's see. Good morning, Countess Variona. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you today? I hope you're good. Okay, right, we're doing R. This is the decision. There has been no protests. Okay. What am I doing? Going here? Yes. Correct. And I'm doing this? Yes. Perfect. There you go. I am indeed functional. Okay, right. So, this is some code that I have been working on. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Yeah. I think I need to just like mentally calm down first because I've been, yeah, like I said, I've been all over the place. I did this interview thing and it was really stressful. Like, it didn't need to be stressful. They were really, really nice. But you know, when you're just like, okay, that's overwhelming and I'm scared now. It was basically that. So, yeah, that's where I am. I'm pretty good. I'm starting up classes again today. Oh, exciting! Exciting. We love classes. Actually, well, I mean, I don't really envy you that much. I feel like I've spent so much time in a classroom that I'm kind of done with it now. But we love it when the classes start back up. That's very cool and exciting. I hope you have good classes. I hope you're studying interesting stuff. I think the last time that I did a class, it was like aside from the ones that I've taught, obviously, but the last actual class that I had to sit in and do was like a research methods one, and I kind of knew all of it already. So yeah, I was kind of like, why am I here? And that kind of killed the fun of it. But when I was doing my masters, I had so many small classrooms that were just nice. They were just nice. It was just fun. Just good. Yeah. I don't know. It's very nice when you're in a group of like 12 people and everyone just talks and everyone gets on for the most part, and you can all just talk about the work and talk about other stuff too. Nice, I like that. Hello, Eric. Hi, welcome in. Welcome in. Oh, you've spotted the new emote. I actually remembered to upload a new emote to the actual channel for once. I haven't forgotten it. It is in fact there. I've remembered. However, I did forget to remove the old one. That's good. I think that's an emote glow up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm quite proud of that one. I think it's okay. I was done with it with my first degree. That's a mood. I've never been a like I don't know. Apart from my masters, because like I said, everybody knew each other. We all got on really well. But like my undergrad, the classes were like 30 people, and it was. I'm not a fan. I mean, one of my last courses were literally just an entire English course based around Pink Floyd. That's cool. I love that. What the hell? I love that. That would be so fun. I wish I had fun classes. Mine are all about like brains and social identities and running surveys. That was not really yeah. Meh. It was meh. Okay, so R. We're doing some R code. That's exciting. Um let's see. So what have we got here? Let me walk you through my R code. So we've got imports. So this is just importing stuff into the script, right? So we've got all of our packages. Do I have these packages? That's a good question. Let's find out. I do not. No, I do. I do. That's good. I have the packages. Okay, they're all installed. This will set the working directory to the location of the file. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure this ain't gonna dox me. Okay, it did not. It did not. We're fine. We're fine. It did not. We're fine. Okay. So yeah, that sets the working directory. So where you're writing the code and stuff. To location of script. So yeah, so it means that I can just use. I don't have to like file paths for a CSV. Very cool. Very fun. And let's import this. This is already cleaned, I believe. Yes, it is. Okay, there's all of these. Um, so it's already cleaned. The original raw dataset had like 600 people in it, but half of them didn't finish the survey and the other half of them were bots. So yeah, we got 200 left. That's good. I have one soon that's legit about how to stress materials to the point that they almost snap. That sounds very cool. That's what like purposely just like stretching out elastic bands and stuff. I think that'd be so fun. Gosh. I love that. Measure twice, dox once. Yes. No, we're not doxing here. We're not doxing here. Okay, so got our data set. This is an interesting data set because it's got a mixture of quantitative and qualitative. So actually, let me do the inclusion. Let's do this. That's just going to exclude all of the people that didn't pass the inclusion criteria. So it was just there was 2 attention check measures. So it was literally just like part of the scale. It'd be like I don't know. People enjoy responding to surveys. Check strongly agree to show you are paying attention. It'll be something like that. And then if people aren't paying attention, they just kind of like they keep putting the same thing for all of the questions. So that's kind of meant to make sure that they are actually paying attention to something. So if they failed both of those, then they get excluded from the analyses. We're left with 169. Very cool. Very cool. This is what the dataset looks like. I can show you this now. This is very exciting. It's all been cleaned and redacted and stuff. So we love that. So there's just loads of metadata at the beginning. So it's like how much of the survey they did, when they started, when they finished, how long it took them, at what time it was they finished, how they took part, the language that their system was using, whether they consented. And there's some demographic stuff, so it tells you roughly where they were in the country, whether they identify as transgender, their gender identity is, uh, where what kind of work they do, so whether they're a student or if they're working, and then what their highest level of, and their political orientation. That was on a scale from 100. I believe 100 was most right wing, and 0 was most left wing, but I might be wrong. And then there was like an experimental manipulation, so different people viewed different things. It was like a news article, and the news article was different depending on the condition they were in. Yeah, so that just gives you a bit of metadata about like how long they were looking at the article, whether they were clicking around on the article, because there was like fake links embedded in it. So it was seeing whether they were clicking that. They gave a qualitative summary of the article that they read. So one of them, so two of them were about conspiracy theories, and then one of them was about science, but like in a kind of neutral way. So yeah, they're summarizing what they thought in each of those and where they thought the article was published. The sample is UK and Ireland, so yeah, it's all like mostly British newspapers. They gave their general opinion on it, which this is really interesting. I would love to go through this and just analyze this at some point. The way that people talk about the article is really, really variable. Like, I love this one. I think it's bullshit. Spoiler alert, it is bullshit. The researchers made it up. But yeah, I know what these initiatives are. I can't think of it. I know what that is. Oh, okay, yeah. So it was asking them if they'd heard of different types of like organizational initiatives that are used in STEM. So like sustainability initiatives or widening participation or open science. And then I can't show you the. Oh no, I can. Get through here like this. There we go. Okay, so gone too far. There we go. Okay. They kind of rated how they feel about it on what's called a feeling thermometer. So 0 is very cold, I don't like it. 100 is very warm, I feel very positive towards it. They did some scales, so there was a measure of their conspiracy theory beliefs, how threatened they feel. Yeah. That is a very big nya. What? Why is the nya so big? Also, hi Kiora! Hello, how are you? I hope you're good. Enjoy your luck. Why is the nya so big? What's going on? Eh? Eh? Don't know what that's. Okay, 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 okay. The nya is making me feel threatened. Yeah, me too. Me too. I don't know what to do about that. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep ranting about this data set and then I'll catch up on chat. Yeah, so measure of conspiracy theory beliefs, how threatened they feel, how they feel about their group identity, zero-sum beliefs, which is a measure of like, if you think that a group is gaining something, do you feel like your group is losing out something? And then there was some stuff about their social media use. So how often they use social media, what platforms they use. And then I think this Bergen scale is like whether they find it difficult to get off social media. And then there was SD3, which I think is the dark triad. So that one is basically a measure of personality traits. So yeah, what are they? There is narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. So narcissism is feeling like having a really inflated sense of self-esteem, but it's really unstable. So you need people to constantly verify that you're amazing, basically. Psychopathy is just kind of like not really caring about other people, being willing to yeah, just do whatever to them and not really feeling anything, I believe. And then I think Machiavellianism is how you is whether or not you're willing to manipulate people to get what you want. I might be wrong on that. I don't know the Dark Triad very well, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And then what was at the end? Near the end of the scale. Oh, and then there's just some like some scale variables that created, and they had to view a debunking thing, because if you're showing people conspiracy theories, there's a non-zero chance that they might start to believe it unless you correct the information. So that's what that was for. It was just at the end to basically make start believing the conspiracy theory that the researchers made up. So so yeah, I don't want that to spread because that would be not good. That would not be good at all. Right, okay, let's see. Stretching and hitting metal alloys with X amount of force to get Y amount of movement atomically. That's so fun. That sounds so fun. I would love that. That would be so fun. The fake links embedded genuinely, like, yeah, it was like, it looked exactly like a news article. So yeah, if you don't know, then you would probably just think that it is a real one. Yeah, it was completely designed to look like a web page that was like embedded into the survey. It was pretty cool. Can't stay long. No problem, Kiara. Thank you so much for dropping by. Let's see. We must have more, yeah. Oh, hell, then yeah. I agree. I did not give this study my full attention. I know. Yeah, there's like an attention check at the end. And they could just outright say like whether they were paying attention or not. And like most people were like, yeah, I gave it my full attention. I wasn't distracted. And then this was just like, nah. No. I was distracted. No, didn't pay attention. Which is valid. That's valid. I'm okay to show you that data set because it's going to be made public at some point. So yeah, there's like the participants gave consent to share it publicly. So it will be put online and anybody can use it, which is really cool. I like that. I think it's exciting. At least they're honest. Exactly. You want people to be honest. Because like, to be fair, one of the best ways is just to ask people like that to assess whether they're paying attention, because yeah, a lot of the times you can look through their answers and you're like, yeah, no, you very clearly weren't. Yeah, it's a bit, it's a bit annoying. Like, why would you do the survey if you're not? I don't know. Oh well, it's fine. It is what it is. Okay. I need to very quickly update the stream title because we do know what we're doing now. We're doing our writing some art analysis. Wait, no. The typing, I'm so sorry. Okay, right. There we go. Okay. We got this. There we go. Okay. We are coding. We are indeed coding. Okay, so we've got our data set. The next thing that we need to do is back to the condition assignment. So that just means we're making a new variable, which it takes the experimental condition that they were in and it like basically kind of segments it. It makes it a bit easier to compare people across the conditions. So we've done that, and then we're making a whole bunch of new subscales. So oh yeah, there was a few conspiracy theories like targeting specific things relevant to the internet, but the experimental condition. So some of these are scales specifically for that. And then it looks like there's also 2 subscales for overall measure. Okay, so that's where we're at. We've got our data set. Oh, that's satisfying. We've got 169 observations of 160 variables. It's a square. It's a perfect square. We love that. We love that so much. Okay. That's it. That's it. We've got the square. I'm gonna have some tea. I think what's going to happen today is that I just basically need to keep writing code. Looks like, yeah, we got down to the manipulation. Hey, hang on a second. I think that's not right. Oh dear. Okay, there's something missing from this code, which is not ideal. A pain. What an actual pain. I was working on this yesterday and I've forgotten to pull from GitHub, and I haven't got my changes. Oh, this is a classic mistake. Classic. That's fine. That's fine. What should I do about that? What should I do? I'm just going to pretend that I don't see it. Let's just do some actual analysis. Let's do that. Okay, right. I have no idea what we're doing. Let me find the pre-registration. I should do that. So this study was pre-registered, which means I have to follow an exact set of steps with the code. Because if I don't, then I will get told off. So I have to find that now. Let's see, what are we doing? We are doing... What are we doing? Oh god. What? I can't say the name of the pre-registration because then everyone will be able to go and find it, and then it could be yoinked. What's the academic word for yoinked again? Scooped. That's the one. Let's see. This one. Yes, it was this one. Perfect. Okay. Well, I do have permission to work on the actual code, and I have permission to implement things that... Okay, so we need to do a correlation analysis. A whole bunch of variables. Very cool. Yeetant. Yes. Yeetanted. Yee. Yee. Oh my god. Ah, yes. My favourite scientific technical term. Yee. Wow. Okay, so here's the plan. I'm just gonna do this so that I know where I made change. Small brain moment. Go. Cool. Okay, I've accounted for my small brain moment. This is good. Okay, so now we've done that. What are we doing? We're doing correlations. So we want to correlate basically everything. Which is very good science. This is very good science. Definitely not p-hacking or anything. We're just correlating everything. Now, it's fine to correlate everything as long as you adjust your p-value. So I don't know what the p-value would be adjusted to. That's a job for future me. I don't want to do maths right now. So what we're doing correlations. Right, cool. Correlations. Then so we need to correlate. I don't even remember how to correlate in R. Oh god. You can do like a correlation matrix. Fun fact, like most of R is just Googling the documentation and then being... That's how I do it. I forgot. Okay, so I need to go R correlation matrix. There we go. Okay. Oh, I could do a plot. Ooh, I could do a plot. That's very tempting. That's very tempting. What is that the one? Oh, that's for visualizing it. Oh, that's pretty cool. I don't want to visualize it though, actually. I think that's effort. I just want like a normal correlation matrix. Isn't most of coding in general just Googling? Yes. Yes, it completely is. Okay, let's see. Yes, okay. I know how to do this. So I think the easiest way to do this is to load the things that I want to correlate into a new data frame, and then just correlate everything in the data frame. That's probably the easiest way to do it. We're programming the dating sim. Not today. Not today. That's a goal. That's a goal for the future. Like one day. Also, hello, Moth. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hope you're doing okay. How are you? Yeah. One day we'll do the visual novel, but today we're doing very boring. Yeah. Very sad. Have there ever been any dating sim based studies? That's a very good question. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to write it down so that we will come back to it. Come back to that at the end. I would like to know. I just made a fresh coffee and my mum bought me a cookie. Life is good. Oh, I want a cookie. I might go get myself a cookie. Get this done. Okay, so we want to do right. Correlations. Let's just do that. Okay, so select. I think is select the one. I don't remember the name of the. Oh, okay. These are the ones that we. That's good. That's okay. Cool. So, data. Oh no, data set even. Data set inclusions. Cool. Right, we're gonna pipe that. If I can type, excellent. And then we are going to those variables up. I'm doing it the weird way because okay, right. That. Oh wait, first we need to do select. Is it select? I can't remember. It might be filter. I can't remember. Oh, very good start. Right, okay. That. We can do this. Do this. Right, we've got the manipulation check. We've got the intergroup threat. The zero-sum beliefs. And we've got the reflexive narcissism. Very cool. Okay. Is that all the things? What was in the... Let's have a look. What was in the thing? We are... So we've got conspiracy theory endorsement check. Oh, it says individual items, overall score, and scores of ideologically grouped items. I don't want to do that. That's effort. Attitudes. Yeah, we've got the feeling thermometer. Oh, another feeling thermometer, but I don't know which one. We'll just skip that for now. And then realistic threat, symbolic threat, male collective narcissism, Machiavellianism, psychopathy. I don't think that there's scale variables for those. That's annoying. Okay. Well, we can do these ones. Realistic threat and symbolic threat. Those we can. Symbolic threat. Ooh, okay. And then and political. Politics. Oh. Sorted. Okay. Nice. Nice. Conspiracy theory based visual novel or something. I'm very tempted to do that. I think that would be really fun. Or like, I don't know, a visual novel where you're like fighting misinformation, something. I don't know. I have some ideas, but not really any time to execute. 30 hours later and the participants check off I did not pay attention. Genuinely, that's how it feels. Enjoy your luck, Fariona. Enjoy. Oh yeah, and also enjoy your luck, Moth. Enjoy. Go watch an anime. Very nice. I want some chocolate chip cookies. Stop bullying me. So unfair. I've got digestive biscuits, like a Brit. Right, okay. Does this do what I thought it would do? This is the real question. Let's find out. It did. This is good. Okay, excellent. Right. And then oh no! I deleted it. Okay, it's back. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. And then we want to do correlations. How do I do that again? Okay. Or blimey. Okay. Or correlations. In theory, this should output. Yes, look at that. Oh my. Oh wait, why is this? Not a. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Am I gonna have to convert? I think this is saying NA because it's not a I think it's entered as a string rather than as a numeric. So that means I need to go back and adjust it slightly. I don't know how to include p-values. Seems like something that I should probably have. Hmm. Hmm. Even I have chocolate chip cookies. I'm jealous. I'm so jealous. Wow, numbers. Very much so. It's very much numbers. I can tell you what they mean in a second once I've worked out what's going on with this politics. Okay, convert. I think it's just as numeric. That might be it. Hang on. Or is it just not ported over? No, it has. Okay. Let's see. So we need to go correlations. D dot politics, and then reassign it. So it's just overwriting it with the same thing. As dot numeric. Correlations. So this should just take these numbers here. I think they've entered as a string, so it's not a number. It's characters. But if it's characters, it can't detect what the number is, if that makes sense. So I need to convert it back to a number. In theory, that should then work. Yes, there we go. See, it's changed to number. Good. Okay. And then now, if I go. Okay. So, oh, still not working. What the hell? Why? Why? Okay, let's try. Who's got to run stuff again? Oh gosh, why? Cool. Okay. I don't know why that's doing that. That's not helpful. Not helpful at all. Doesn't know. What don't I know? Tell me. What don't I know? What have I done? Tell me what I've done. I don't know what I've done. Oh wait, it's an int. Oh wait, no, that's the other one. Eh? That is a numeric. What is going on here? Okay. I'm gonna try it as in works. It's converting them, so it should work in theory. Okay, it's still not working. I got nothing. I don't know what's going on here. Oh well, we're not using that. Anyway, let's go through the rest of it. So we've got what have we got here? We've got manipulation check is negatively correct. Can I like get the p-value? Wait, no, I must be able to get the or R. Correlation, variance, and oh, wait a second. Is this? Ah, I know what it is. I know what it is. I know what it is. Right, does that work now? Oh. I worked it out, but I've done it wrong somehow. Frick, what's going on here? What? Unused argument? Hmm. Hmm. Oh, is it because this has got a different number of values now? That might be it. Okay. Let's just get rid of this. This is problematic and I hate it. Okay. This is fine. This is fine. We'll just pretend that that doesn't exist right now. Okay. Anyway. What? What have I done now? Oh, yeah, no. This is dumb. Dumb. It's fine. We got it. We got it. Right. Okay. We got there. We got there. We got there. Okay. So correlation matrix. I swear it like okay. How many PhDs does it take to form a correlation matrix? Goodness gracious. So the issue here is that I don't actually know what the significance is of them. So there's only so much to do with this. But that being said, this is still fine. This is still fine. So we've got a negative correlation with attitudes towards the initiative and conspiracy theories. Stronger negative correlation with realistic threat, which is all about like, oh, they're stealing our jobs, basically. That's the TLDR of it. That stealing our jobs. There's symbolic threat, which is concerns about like culture changing outgroup. There's zero sum beliefs, which is the benefits for them require us to lose out, and then there is collective kind of idea that the like, my group is really really great, but very easily threatened. Not got place in the social hierarchy. So interestingly, it looks like there's a fairly strong correlation between collective knowledge. Actually, it looks like zero sum beliefs is correlated with pretty apart from well, it's lower with not really that much. That's interesting. Okay, so that's one also has very strong. Oh wait, no, that's mostly symbolic threat. These are the same scale. Symbolic threat and realistic threat are the same scale, so that looks like that's strong enough that they might actually just load together. Interesting. It's me. I'm stealing their jobs. Me too. Me too. We're all stealing their jobs. Yeah, that's interesting. It's also it's good that the feel one is like negative across the board because that was coded in the opposite direction. So all of them are like higher score is more negative, but this one is higher score is more positive. So that's good. That's interesting. We like that. Okay. Cool. This is good. This is good. What else? What else do we have to do? Let me read what they were expecting from the hypothesis. Well, they've got about politics. Why was that not working? Why was that going on there? An optional character string computing covariances in the okay. Oh, you can um So why was this not working then? When I was doing NARM equals true, it was giving me an error. Why was it doing that? Unused argument. Is it because there aren't any cases of missing data? But then it looks like there was cases of missing data. Hang on, if I go d.politics, do that again. Let's open this up. Okay, no, so there are okay. Well, there's at least one. One? There's a few, yeah, there's a few. Okay. So why is that not working? I do this. Why is it saying unused argument? That's very strange. Making the robots that's stealing the jobs? Yes, perfect. I want my job to be stolen by a robot, but ideally I would like it so I don't have to work anymore. That would be much nicer, rather than just it stealing the job and having let's see. Look. Not helpful. I'm looking at Stack Overflow and this is not helpful. Hang on, maybe I need to put the actual. Ah, there we go. NA values not being excluded in. Oh, look. Unused argument. Okay, it did the same thing to them. Use. Use instead. Ah, okay. Use instead. Got it. Got it. Okay. So what are the options for use? The options for use. How am I meant to find this? Oh, all obs. So that's all observations or complete observations. How do I know which is which though? It seems not documented. Oh, wait a second. If use is everything, NAs will propagate conceptually, i.e. resulting value will be NA. If use is all obs, then the presence of missing observations will produce an error. If use is complete obs, then missing values are handled in a case-wise deletion. Okay, so that's what we want. So we want use that. We want this. Does this work? Let's go. We've done it. Very cool. Very cool. Hi Boomer, welcome in. Oh, such an interesting language, but definitely fun for scientific stuff. Absolutely. I'm so conflicted on it because I don't have like any like comp sci background whatsoever. So in theory I should like R, but I just don't. It's like I can work with it, but I don't know. My like computer science training was literally just CS50. That was all I was like told to do, and I didn't even finish it. But like it makes sense to me on a I don't know, it just kind of makes sense to me. I'm just one of those people where it just makes sense to me. But yeah, when I'm trying to deal with stuff like this, I just find it more annoying than like if you're trying to make it user friendly, which is the whole point of R, at least make the errors, like the error messages, a bit easier to read, you know? But you know, it's fine, it's fine. I'm working with it. I'm working with it. These numbers tingle my brain. There are so many correlations. I must absorb more data. Literally me on a daily basis. I am trying to absorb all of them. I don't know what. I just like them. Nice. Stack Overflow is hit and miss, just like Reddit. Yeah, seriously, it's really, really hit or miss. Like, oh, especially since loads of people have been deleting the actual good answers because there's been a whole thing recently where Stack Overflow, I think they signed some kind of deal with Microsoft or something so that it would be used in Copilot. So like their AI tool. And yeah, because of that, loads of people were like, "Well, I don't consent to this and they've been deleting their answers. So loads of really helpful stuff has just been disappearing off Stack Overflow. It's really like annoying, to be honest. And then obviously, like, it's just a lose-lose, because even if Stack Overflow backtrack on it, that's gone. Like, it's the post is still deleted. We can't get it back. So yeah, I don't know. It seems like a kind of it seems like we're just shooting ourselves in the foot by doing that. It's very, yeah, just scorched earth tactics. That's the word. Scorched earth tactics. It feels like that. Where yeah, it's just like, well, if the AI is gonna have it, get rid of it. But I'm not sure how I feel about that. Manipulation check and depolitics is 0.36319115. This is a profound truth about the universe. What do the numbers mean? It means that there is a 0.36 correlation between conspiracy theory beliefs and political orientation, in the direction that people that are politically right-leaning, according to their own self-identification, are more likely to believe conspiracy theories. That's what it means. I swear I spent so long like studying the survey that this was from before I even thought about opening this, because I was like, I need to actually know what these things mean. I have no idea what I'm doing. You're allowed to be outside the status quo. Very, very true. Very, very true. I like being outside the status quo. I think it's more fun. I'm literally a VTuber. Like, I'm literally a science VTuber. I think that's fairly outside the status quo. I like doing new stuff. Fun. Deleted or archived. I don't actually know if they've been like fully deleted or if they've been just archived, but from what I've seen, it seems like people are actually deleting it. Because if it's archived, then the AI would still be able to access it through the API. Whereas if it's fully deleted, then it can't access it anymore, so it can't be used for training data. That was my understanding of the situation anyway. I might be wrong. This confirms all of my personal biases. Perfect. Genuinely, genuinely. What can I say? Research is perfect for confirming biases sometimes. But sometimes it refutes them. Sometimes it. We like it either way. Let's have a look. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is a wait, and over. Okay. So two-way between subjects and overs. Testing the effective condition. Realistic threat and that feeling. Got it. Okay. Cool. Hanover. So the first one is realistic threat. So, AOV. We want. Oh god, what order does it go? Condition factor. Oh, whoops. No. We can do this. We can do this. Factor. Okay. On to realistic. Why is it alpha? I want that. I want realistic threat. And then that is in dataset exclusions. I should probably do what? Assumption checks. I will do that later. No idea how to do that. Oh, I've broken it. Using totally numeric with a factor. Have I done this the wrong way round? No, I haven't. I swear I haven't. Because you do. Ah, no, I have. Meant to be like that, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. I knew it. I did. You didn't see anything. Okay, right. So we've got. Okay. No, we're missing something. There we go. That's what we wanted. Okay, so we have got. Oh, look at that. So when we're looking at these kinds of statistical output, the exciting thing is the p. Well, it's not that exciting, but it's basically a threshold, which tells you whether there's a chance that this might be due to chance or whether this might be due to an effect actually existing. This is above the threshold, so technically we should just ignore this. However, when it's kind of on the borderline like this for an ANOVA, an ANOVA is basically you're just comparing 3 different conditions. So you're comparing the mean across 3 different groups, because there's 3 groups in this. Because there's 3 conditions, there might be a significant difference between 2 of the conditions, and then the third one is like either not significant either, or it's very similar to one of the 2. That can mean the p-value isn't actually significant overall, but when you look at the individual comparisons, it is. So that might mean that there is something here. It's interesting. Let's see. They said to follow up with Chuki's T. Sorry. How do I do that now? I don't remember. The P is kind of like saying, chat, is this real? Kind of. Kind of, yeah. Like the effect is maybe there, and it is literally just like, is this real? Is this real? I like to have a look at the means across the groups, but I bother. Yeah, I will. Let's just check. Set conclusions. We're gonna pipe. We're gonna do group. Okay. Condition. Then we're gonna do mean. We want to do the mean of what stick threat. Should work. It doesn't. Okay, we've done it. Okay. Okay. Is it because I've done this? I think this might be it. What am I doing? Going wrong. Why is it? Oh, wait a second. What have I done here? Inclusions, pipe, group by condition factor, main realistic. NA real. Okay. I'll just get rid of that. Yeah, that's what we wanted. Okay. And then let's do mean. A check. Is this gonna still be grouped? I think it is. No, it isn't. Okay. I've forgotten how to. This is. Oh, wait a second. I know why. Okay. Mean. Realistic. Come on, you can do it. No? Okay. No, I'm still just breaking it. Right, okay. Cool. Okay. Please search how to do this because I've forgotten. Tidyverse, group by mean. I want a mean that's grouped by. Summarize, that's the one. Summarize. Mean, real, yes. Okay, that should just work now. Theory. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, that's interesting. So it looks like there is an effective condition, but weirdly, the control is the one that's got no conspiracy theories whatsoever. Climate is the one that's about like climate change conspiracy theories, and then gender is about like anti-woke conspiracy theories. Basically, I don't know how else to describe. And it looks like there will be a significant difference between these two, climate and gender, the two experimental conditions, but not the control. That's weird. That's weird and interesting. Okay. Okay. Oh. How do we do a Tukey test? I've forgotten. Oh, there's an ad break. Oh, okay. Let's what should we do during the ad break? What should we do during the ad break? I have no suggestions. I don't know what to do during the ad break. Listen, we know that the Earth is flat and the dinosaurs are on the other side. It's first grade. Exactly. Exactly. Australia has dinosaurs and it's on the other side of the planet because it's a flat disc. This is how it works. You millennial leftists who never lived one day under nuclear threat can now reflect upon your woke sky. You know, the thing is, this isn't even that far off. Like some of the things that people have said in like when I've run surveys that are kind of about conspiracy theories. Like I've heard stuff like that. You know, it does actually happen, which I think is very funny. That's why they are boomers. Exactly. Exactly. It was the nuclear threat. That's why they're called that. Nuclear explosion. I think that life would be very strange if there was that constant like nuclear threat in the back. I mean, I know that there still is for some people in the world, but I don't know. I can't imagine like sitting there and thinking like, ooh, might be a nuke dropping me any. Like that sounds very stressful to be honest. That and the adverts. There was like PSA. Hang on, actually, I might actually just bring this. I might bring this up. Right, I'm gonna bring this up because this is really something special. I think there's like nuclear PSA warning things from the BBC, and I swear they are the most freaky thing ever. UK nuclear. What's it called? Protect and Survive. That was the one. It was from the 70s. Oh my gosh, these things are really something. Put the R with. Oh, there you are. Okay, right, right. Okay, check this out. Oh wait, actually, let me add in my. Uh, uh actually, maybe you'll just be able to hear it. Do I have any desktop? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh gosh. Audio output capture, that's the one. Desktop audio. There we go. We got there eventually. Okay. Right, let's turn that off. Oh god, it's loud. I'm so sorry. Okay. Jump scare. Okay. Check this out. Oh, rare archive footage, which due to its age and the original recording methods used may be of slightly lesser picture quality than usual. However, to make this film as comprehensive as possible. Music's a bit distracting. Like they use these little clay things, like toys. All out. But like the mixture of the noise and the like toy houses is so creepy. I know it's just like a feature of the fact it's made in the 70s, but still. Can be deadly dangerous. This could go hard as analog horror in New Age YouTube, so true. Whoever made that jingle needs to sort themselves out, because that is like the worst, most horrific jingle I've ever heard in my life. Like, I hate that jingle so much. It's really creepy. Hot take, while most had the common sense to know that your desk would not protect you against a bomb drop, I'm glad that they said it to little kids. Yeah, yeah. Give them a bit of process the situation a bit, I guess. Music back. They were not cooking. I don't know. I think it kind of goes hard. I kind of like it. It's very creepy though. Very, very creepy. I like how the top comment on this video is, keep the doors shut, do not go outside of the house. Done and done. Man, this fallout is easy. I've been prepared for years. That's kind of a mood. Kind of relatable. I kind of get that. So true, yeah. Okay. Let's go back to R. Jokes. By technical definition, you would be cooking from a bomb. This is very true. This is very, very true, actually. Right. What was up again? I swear there was something I was meant to be looking up. Oh yeah, Tukey test. Okay, Tukey test. R. How to perform a Tukey HSD test in R. How do I do it? What even is a Tukey test? I always forget. Let's look up what it is first. What does Wikipedia say it is? Tukey's range test. Oh no, I want the Tukey mean difference test. I want this one. Oh. Apparently. Okay, yeah, no, wait, what? No, I do want this. I do want this. The Tukey range test. That's the one. Okay. Okay. It's a single-step multiple comparison procedure that can be used to correctly interpret the statistical significance of the difference between means that have been selected for comparison because of values. It's initially developed and introduced by John Tukey for the use in analysis of variance, ANOVA, and it has only been taught in connection with ANOVA. Okay, that's a random fact. Does have broader application apparently. And that's what we're doing. So, right, so how do I do it? Wiki test R. Oh, rbloggers.com. We love rbloggers. We love rbloggers. I find solace in knowing that I live close enough to one of the largest American military installations that I would likely be instantly vaporized. I live in solace that I live in Ireland and nobody would bother to attack us. It's very boring. Nobody cares about us. In case of a nuclear war, yeah. And 1.88, I can't believe they released an update. I know. Can't keep track with all the gender updates. That's a sign of hang on in life. You're so right, because I just remembered Ireland exists. Thank you. Yes, we do in fact exist. Okay, right. So, Tukey. What am I doing and how do I do it? I am... Oh, it's literally just Tukey HSD. Okay, cool. Oh. Okay, so I've just got to assign this to... Okay, right. So, what we've got to do is, we've got to take this out of here. We've got to assign it to something like that. Let's just go with that. Let's... Oh, okay, right. Let's clear this. It gets too messy. Right, so got this. That's our overall ANOVA. This is good. So apparently we literally just go Tukey HSD like this. And then ANOVA 1. And then confidence level point. Yeah, 0.95. That is our thingy. That is our confidence level we're doing. Let's see, what does this? Oh, almost, but not quite. Not quite. Tukey sounds like a TikTok dance. Hit the Tukey. Yeah. Also, high five. Welcome in. Oh, hit the Tukey. It does kind of sound like that, doesn't it? Or like, yeah. Well, I guess I was gonna say we're a Fortnite dance, but I guess those are kind of the same thing now. I can't keep up with these things. Sheesh. I hate that you put that emote with it because it kind of works. Okay, so we've got our thing. There's no differences. There's nothing going. This is like 10 years ago. This would have been quote unquote marginally significant, but it's not. It's not. So okay, that's fine. So we've got one of our ANOVAs. What was the other one that we had to do? That one had to be on the feel_1 variable. Okay, cool. Feeling I can't. No, wait. Thermometer. There we go. God, that was painful. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm literally just copying and pasting. Lazy. So which is the one we're after again? Feel 1. I think I already said that. I don't know why I had to like clarify that. Okay. Then we're gonna change this to 2. Okay. Cool. That. Perfect. This should work in theory. Let's see what it does. Right. This one's not significant at all. Okay, there was no point in even doing the tube. Like, there was no point. Yeah, no, there's nothing going on here. Cool, okay. Very nice. No significant difference. So far, both of the hypotheses have failed. Very cool. Very cool. We reject. What's the next thing? Oh god. Duration analysis? I ain't doing that. Okay. I'm not doing that. So how about, ouch, said nothing. How about instead, let's do some demographics. I think demographics is good. Let's do that. Let's find out who took part. Okay, so what have we got? We reject, yes. I should have a dab emote. That's a thing. I should have that. No, I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. Unless. Let's see. What are we doing? Okay, right. We've got age, so we want the mean and standard deviation for age. We got gender. We got region. We need region. No, I'll do it anyway. Region. We got work. We got education. And we got cool. So age is going to be mean and standard deviation, so that's easy. Mean. Data set. Inclusion. D. Yeah, D.A. Which is this doesn't work. This would be incredible. Okay, it works. And then I think standard deviation is literally just SD. Yeah, okay, cool. So our average age of participants was 32 years old and our standard deviation was 12.5 years. Okay. Cool. That makes sense. Kind of surprising actually, because I thought this was mostly a student population, but I guess if it's mostly grad students, that does kind of make sense. And then we've got gender. We want to do frequency. How do I do frequency? Oh dear. Frequency table. R. Frequency table in R. Table. No, not bar plot. I don't want a bar plot. That no. Hmm. Hmm. Yes. No. What? What? Oh dear. Confused. 100% of participants took part in the study. I hope this helps. That does help. Thank you, Lankuri. This is very cool. Very cool knowledge that you have shared. I think I need to do... I think there's like a separate package that I was meant to install. Frequency table. Is this the one that I'm thinking of? Yeah, this is the one that I'm thinking of. But is this part of Tidyverse though? Is it part of Tidyverse? Imports. Player. I think this might be part of Tidyverse, so I'm just gonna try. Okay, so dataset inclusions. And then we want to do okay, that's promising. Hello, Ravenclaw Muggles! Hello, welcome in. Thank you for the bits.
Psydere
Thank you very much for the wait. Okay. I always forget to use that. Like, I literally have like faces and I forget to use them. I just sit here like completely neutral, even though I forget. I'm just sat here suffering with my R, so I forget. Okay. We're doing. Is that gonna work? Okay. Not find function. What? What? Wait. Oh, okay. Is this it? Yeah, there we go. That's what we're after. Okay, so we had 104 female, 59 male, and then 6 non-binary or another gender identity. Very cool. Very cool. Twinsies, I'm also completely neutral all of the time. Yes. Genuinely, like, people, okay, like my default face is just like blank smile. Like, genuinely, it's just, I just go around like. So, yeah, I do, yeah, people don't know what I'm thinking ever, which is very cool. Very cool. Okay, region. We've got region. Oh, we want, wait, yes, there we go. Okay. And then we also, I realized we also want trans. Have many trans people? Had 3. Okay, cool. And then region. Other. Who's other? Who's the other? You shouldn't be here. I swear, if this is just somebody like writing in something to be annoying, that's gonna make me really sad. What is this? What this SPSS? No, this is R. So this IDE is R Studio. And I'm using do my, but it does the same thing as SPSS. It's just code instead of buttons. Okay, so most people were from Northern Ireland. That's a bit random. And then London and Southeast England. That makes more sense. Okay, cool. Other, please specify London. Genuinely, people do that sometimes. I had one where someone put in like a very, very specific like town in like the north of England, and I was like, why? Why have you done that? Don't do that. Okay, work. Let's see. We've got work. This is whether they are in work. So most people were working full-time or working part-time. There's also a lot of students. Some retired, some people that were just vibing. Very cool. Okay. And then education. Education, we want... Okay. Most people had... Oh, interesting. Most people had a postgrad qualification. Oh no, most people had a university degree. Then a postgrad qualification, and then high school level education. That does not match with the population. That does not match with the population at all. That's very, very skewed. Okay. No, in fairness, I do remember them saying, yeah, this is mostly grad students, so that makes sense, actually. Okay. And then politics. Scotland forever. Scotland forever! Exactly. Occupation, just vibing, I wish. I know. my occupation is just vibing at the minute, except the vibing involves spending hours and hours writing a very large document. And I'm simultaneously both a student and employed and neither. So that's cool. Right, politics. So I'm just going to these because I'm lazy. Let's see how the politics was doing. The politics. There we go. Cool. How's this? Yeah. Oh, I forgot to do you won't get me again, you little cheeky thing. You silly sausage. There we go. Okay. So the mean on politics was 31. So if the midpoint's 50, that means that they were left-wing leaning or identified as left-leaning or like liberal for Americans in the chat. And then standard deviation was 19. So okay, so yeah, most people were, that was a very heavy skew towards crikey. Okay, that doesn't match the population. This is not representative at all. This is very, very skewed towards people that are educated, left-leaning, and students, which makes sense. Those things tend to go together. Okay, cool. So for the American singular in the chat, I don't know, there might be more. Might be more. Never know. So, here's where I'm at. I am not really able to do anything else with this code, to be honest, because the other thing that I need to do involves getting a giant script and running it. It's literally like 4,000 lines long. And I can't do that. I can't do that because my CPU cannot cope with it. So, what time is it? It is 3. So, my suggestion is I am gonna shut down R now. I'm gonna have a very quick, like, 3-minute break. And then I will read a paper. And then I think that sounds okay. 4,000 lines, those are rookie numbers. But it's just for it's for a single statistical model. Like, it's really excessive for one statistical model. Maybe if it was like a full-on machine learning algorithm, but it's not. It's like a regression. So I don't know what's going on there. Also, the fact that they've published it as a script instead of a package really, really annoys me. Like, it upsets me on a molecular level. It really, really bothers me. So yeah. But yeah, it takes like, my PC is okay. So I can run it, but it's just if I'm streaming at the same time, I can tell that there will be issues and start lagging and my model will break and stuff, so I can't really do it, which is a bit annoying. Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Paper time. Yes. I think we will read one about conspiracy theories today. Because I want to. I need to for my my research. Actually, I'll see if I can find one that's relevant to some of the stuff that we saw here. Because we saw... Hang on, actually, let me bring up Psydere. Let me... What am I doing? What am I doing? Go on. I'll turn this off very quickly. Right. Okay. Let me close this. Not save. Away. Zero. I think I saw one that was kind of relevant to something that we just spotted there. Let's. Yeah. So, I found an article by Jonas Krüppel. I think that's how you say their name. And it is on the relationship between right-wing attitudes, conspiracy beliefs, and intergroup threat, introducing an indirect measure for intergroup threat. So that's like literally using some of the things that I was just talking about there with the data set. Is an open access article. See attribution. Perfect. Yeah. So it's yeah, so I can do this one. Hang on, let me bring it up. Yes. This one. This. So we could talk about this one. That sounds interesting. I think I wanted to read this anyway because it's very relevant to that data set that I was. Sorry, I'm like fiddling with this because I want it to look nice. It's very relevant to the wow. My neighbors just moved a chair so loudly that I actually saw it get picked up on my OBS. Good stuff. Yeah, no, I think that this is relevant to the data set I was just showing you. So you can actually like it. You can actually learn a bit about the theoretical underpinnings of the data I was just looking at, so that might be fun. But yeah, I want to go have a quick break and get a drink and stuff. I think it would make sense to do that after. What do we think? 2-minute break? 3-minute break? Then I'll grab a drink. We will come back and read this. I think that sounds fun. Let's do that. Okay. Yeah, so I will go to my BRB screen now. But yeah, I'll be back in like 2 minutes. In a minute. I'm back. I was being timed. Oh, I've failed. I've failed. I have failed. I was too late. I was too slow. Okay, so. Right. On the relationship between. Wait, no. I need to update my thing. I need to update my thing. Reading. Let's. Oh my. Reading. I can't spell. Oh my gosh. What's going on? Reading research about conspiracy theories. There we go. We got this. We got this. Reading. Yes. Yes, yes. Reading. Reading? Reading. Reading. Reading? Reading. Yes. I swear I can't. Music's too loud. I'm sorry. I forgot. I fixed it. Sorry. It's because I came back and just started yapping instantly. Lankuri, you stressed me out. I blame you for timing me. I blame you. My Oshi can't possibly be this bad at spelling. Yes. Yes. Hang on a second. Wait, I need to just quickly check something. What am I doing here? What am I checking? I've literally just forgotten what I'm checking. I am doing a great job today. Oh my gosh, everything is something. Okay, wait, no, I got this. I got this. Okay. No, I'm good. Good. Okay. There we go. Projecting defense mechanism. Yes. That sounds like a personal problem. True. So true. Okay, right, so. We are reading. I can't do this. I can't, my brain. Okay, so. We are reading on the relationship between right-wing attitudes, conspiracy beliefs, and intergroup threat, introducing an indirect measure for intergroup threat. I don't know what this paper is about. We're about to find out. Let's give it up for Jonas Krüppel and colleagues. From Fern University in Hagen. Hagen? Oh no. I never heard of the place. Okay, right. So recent theoretical models stress the importance of both personal and contextual factors in the development of political extremism. Ooh. One such theory is the intergroup threat theory. So remember I said about realistic and symbolic threats when we were looking at that data set? That comes from this. Intergroup threat theory suggests a relationship between extremism and intergroup threat, i.e. the perception that one's in-group is threatened by a particular social outgroup. So we all have this thing where we're like, I am in this group, this is my group. So for me, for example, it is VTubers. And then there's an outgroup. That is them. They are not me. I am not part of that group. Such as furries. So VTuber, anime VTuber is the in-group, furry VTuber is the out-group. You understand? You understand? I hope this makes sense. Using an adaptation of the semantic misattribution procedure. Oh, I don't know what that is. Let's find out. Present research aimed at replicating the results of previous studies using a novel measure. In the first study, with 88 participants, of whom 77% female, self-reported intergroup threat was significantly and positively related to two types of extreme political attitudes, namely right-wing authoritarianism and generic conspiracy beliefs. Interesting. Interesting that they've classified as right-wing authoritarianism as extreme. Interesting. Right-wing authoritarianism is like a personality measure. It's used a lot in like the psychology of politics and how people think about social inequality. And it kind of it's a mixture of like how readily somebody will defer to an authority figure and also how important traditions are to them. So it's kind of like it's meant to represent the psychological antecedents of like conservative thinking, basically. But to say it's extreme is interesting because it's a personality measure, so therefore every point on the scale is like normal human variation. Yeah, interesting. The SMP score, in contrast, was only significantly correlated to right-wing authoritarianism. Okay. In a second study, these results were replicated in a larger sample with 243 participants. Okay, nice. Moreover, self-reported and indirectly directly measured even. Moreover, self-reported and indirectly measured intergroup threat were related to hostile attitudes and stereotyping against immigrants. Okay, cool. When compared to explicit intergroup threat, however, the SMP score was not incremental detection of hostile attitudes. Okay. So the issue I'm having here is that I don't know what the SMP is. Like, my brain is just instantly like, haha, Minecraft. That's all I know. Yeah. God, I just read SMP as survival multiplayer. Okay, good. I'm glad it wasn't just me. I'm glad it wasn't just me. This is valid. This is valid. Yeah. But yeah, we'll just have to find out because I don't know what the procedure is, so I really can't comment on any of this apart from they're doing something and then they're seeing how that affects whether people feel threatened by the outgroup, which I'm assuming is immigrants here, whether that changes their stereotyping, and whether that is related to their right-wing authoritarian. It's a personality measure and shouldn't change across editions. But let's find out. Okay. Extreme political attitudes have gained more and more scientific attention with the advent of populist parties in many Western countries. I like it when they say stuff like this, because to me that's quite funny, because it's like, it's just explicitly saying, like, there is a Western bias in psychology. We don't really pay attention to the people in, you know, non-Western countries that have been studying this for a very, very long time. Oh dear. Whereas many researchers suggested either societal or individual risk factors for radicalization leading to extremism. Okay. I've got an instant issue with this because they haven't defined what extremism is. Okay. Let's find a definition for political extremism. Let's do that. Okie dokes. Political extremism. I can't spell. Nobody's surprised. Political agendas perceived as extremist often include those from far left or far right politics. That's still not helpful. Okay. The quality or state of being extreme. The advocacy of extreme measures or views. Okay. An ideology that is considered by the speaker or some implied shared social consensus to be far outside the mainstream attitude of society. So if I had to assume, since we're doing this in the scientific context, I would assume that it's literally just looking at the bell curve distribution of where people fall in general, and then saying, like, I don't know, the 10% on either end, they are the most extreme. But I don't know. They haven't defined it, but maybe they'll define it later on. Extremism is when you're political, and the more political you are, the more extremism it is. Genuinely, like, they're so vague. Like, I don't know how to build off of that. I don't know what makes extreme. Like, I think at the minute this is implying the social consensus idea, but different cultures have different social consensus on what is extreme. Like, yeah, like what's normal in one culture might be considered extreme in another. And that goes in multiple directions. Like, I mean, off the top of my head, I can instantly think that, like, say for example, inclusion of LGBTQ plus people is considered normal in most Western countries, or at least in Western Europe anyway. But it's extreme in other parts of the world, like, you know, parts of Asia, for example, or parts of Africa. On the flip side, female genital mutilation is really, really common in some parts of the world, but it's considered extreme here. So yeah, it's very culturally bound, and if you're not very clearly defining what you see as extremism for your research, that's not helpful. Could mean anything. Skateboarding and skipping class, extreme. That's not extreme, that's radical, that's different. Extreme and radical do not mean the same thing. You can be extreme without being radical. That's just radical. It's not the status quo. The status quo that all human beings share, of course. Yes, exactly. It is implying that. It is implying that there is a status quo that everybody shares, but that's not how the world works. And this is a recurring theme in psychology, like a recurring criticism that, yeah, psychologists, because so much psychology research comes out of like Western Europe and North America. It's very, very, um, very, very influenced by those cultures and by associated worldviews. And on top of that, there's like subculture within those national cultures as well. So, like for example, in the UK, a lot of academics would be classified as left wing because they're quite, for example, they're pro equality, they're pro trade union. Whereas, like when you look at the breadth of UK society, it's a bit more complicated than that. Yeah, it's something that's been repeatedly criticized about psychology. A common criticism of psychology, even, that we don't really reflect worldviews across the board. It's partially just because, like, you know, all of the funding is in Western countries, and therefore the people that can afford to do the research are overwhelmingly in Western countries, or they can move to Western countries. And if they move to a Western country, then they probably already align with the Western country's philosophy anyway. So, yeah, it's a bit more complicated than that. No, say it ain't so. Genuinely. West girls, best girls, old academics probably. No. West girls, psychology. Everyone else, anthropology. That's how it works. If you're a Westerner and we research you, it's psychology. If you're not from the West, you're anthropology. That's genuinely that's the distinction. I wish I was joking. Obviously, it's improving now. There's anthropology for the West, and there is also psychology for the not West. But yeah, we're at the intro and we're already baffled. I know. I'd be like, how did this survive the thesis defense? I don't know. I think the thing is, when you're writing a paper like this, there's really strict word limits. So sometimes you just have to like cut things out and assume that the reader knows what you're talking about. And I guess because this was in, okay, the Journal of Theoretical Social Psychology. No, okay, no. They should have defined it because this is not a journal where they would inherently know what that is. This isn't. If it was like a political science or political psychology journal, I'd be like, yeah, fair enough. But this is theoretical social psychology. That could be anything. That can be anything in the field of social psychology. Like there can be people who do social influence or friend group dynamics, workplace stress reading this. So yeah, it did need a definition, but maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we're jumping the gun. Determining what is the baseline normal political belief for a human being is left as an exercise for the reader. Genuinely. Yeah, that's exactly what they've done. But it's fine. Like I said, it might be further down. It might be further down. Sometimes they just start broad in the first paragraph and then they kind of explain things. Okay, so intergroup threat theory postulates that an individual in-group favoritism resulting from the benefits of intergroup threat theory postulates an individual in-group favoritism resulting from the benefits that a social group offers to the person, such as social support, sense of belonging, or a sense of common norms and values. Okay, I think that might just be a grammar error. So yeah, basically, there's this concept called in-group favoritism, which is that we tend to prefer people that are in the group that we're in. So for example, I am an anime VTuber, therefore I have a preference for other anime VTubers. And it's not something I'm consciously aware of, I just prefer it. And that means that I'm very, very sorry to all of the furry VTubers, but, you know, if there's an anime VTuber or a furry VTuber, I'm more inclined to raid into the anime. That's basically what in-group favoritism is. So, we've got that. And yeah, it arises from the benefits that group membership offers to people. So, yeah. So if you have a shared identity, then you've got a sense of belonging in the community. You've got social support from other people in the network, common norms and values. So yeah, you've all kind of got similar ideas about how the world. Therefore, outgroups are often perceived as a threat to one's in-group. They haven't really detailed what that means, but it's this idea that like you're just kind of vibing in your group, and then an outgroup exists, and the fact that they exist could negatively affect your group in some way. So the fact that there are furry VTubers could take away from my viewership as an anime VTuber. That's the kind of thing it means. I can relate, I'm not the favourite. No, it's not true, it's not true. You're part of the in-group here. So according to Stefan and colleagues, this intergroup threat can either be realistic or symbolic. Wait, they've defined symbolic and they haven't defined realistic. Well, thankfully I know about this. Furries equals threat. Exactly. I'm threatened by them. So realistic threat is a threat to like resources or power. So it's the kind of like tangential, the tangential things that make you feel secure in the world. It can also be safety. So when you hear people being like, "Oh, the immigrants are taking our jobs," that's realistic threat because it's a threat to your resources, as in your career, your money coming, career options. Or it could be safety. So I don't know how to explain that without referring to a conflict. Use your imagination. And then symbolic threat is calling into question the ideology or belief system of the in-group. So, for example, you see this a lot with religious groups, especially. So you might have seen things. If you're in the West, you might have seen things from Western media that are like, this specific religious group are affecting our values as a different religious group. That is a thing that you see quite a lot. So yeah, it's realistic is like kind of based in your sense of safety and your access to resources. Symbolic is about how you think about the world, how your group thinks about the world, and whether that could potentially. And yeah, they can affect the individual as well as the group as a whole. Outgroup exist, in-group. Exactly. That's exactly the whole theory. Also, welcome in, Miguel. I hope you're doing well. She's threatened by me and my homies. Genuinely, that's how it works. Religion A versus religion B. Exactly. Yeah. It's like, it's a tale as old as time, isn't it? Like, oh, religions hate each other. Or, oh, religious groups, not religious groups, ethnic groups hate each other. Like, it's everything that you can ever think of. Anime fans and furries hate each other. Like, sports fans, they're so bad for it. I'm in this team and you're in that team, and therefore we hate each other. You're a realistic threat because you're going to take away our title as champions, and you're a symbolic threat because you're a different kit colour than us, and I don't like it. Thank you for the hydrate, Mitson. I will do that. Also, I don't know if I've said hello to you yet. Welcome in. If you've been here for a while and lurking, I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, I have watered. And posture checked. I've done that too. Thank you, Lankuri. Okay. Right. In terms of social cognitive personality theories, more specifically the notion of a cognitive affective personality system, I don't know what that is. Okay. What is that? Let's find out. Let's go do some interneting. Right. Okay. I'm Googling. Cognitive affective personality system. Oh no, my voice. Excuse me. Okay, cognitive affective personality system is a contribution to the psychology of personality proposed by Michelle and Schroeder. Oh, I do know this. According to the cognitive affective model, behavior is best predicted from a comprehensive understanding of the person, the situation, and the interaction between the person and situation. Okay, let me bring up this little diagram. My headphones just disconnected and I can't hear anything. That's very cool. I love it when that happens. Okay, how do I save this? How do I save this? Save. Okay, they're back. Good. Let me bring this up. My thingy. image. Right. I'm going to there we are. Okay. Right. Cognitive affective personality system. Right, okay, so this is crusty. This is a crusty JPEG. Okay. So they've identified 5 cognitive affective units. So there's encoding strategy. I see it. It's on the left. Encoding strategies, which are people's individualized manner of categorizing information from external stimuli. Competencies and self-regulatory strategies, which are intelligence, self-regulatory strategies. I'm guessing that's in terms of emotion, like how they process emotion. Self-formulated goals and self-produced consequences. This is very I'm sure this means something if I read the paper. I'm pretty sure I learnt about this at undergrad and I do not remember. I've heard of it. I remember the authors, but yeah. Expectancies and beliefs, which are people's predictions about the consequences of each different behavioural possibility. Goals and values, which provide behavioural consistency. Affective responses, including emotions, feelings, and the affects accompanying physiological reactions. Oh, that's it. Okay. It attempts to explain seemingly conflicting evidence. Personality remains relatively invariant over time and throughout different social contexts, whereas social behaviours vary substantially across different situations. It integrates concepts of personality structure and dynamics, obviating the need for 2 subdisciplines in personality psychology, each with personality dispositions or personality processes. Okay. So it's kind of mixing so it's kind of trying to work out which parts of personality are consistent and which parts are affected by external circumstances and the different things that produce those differences. Okay. So they argue that behaviour is not the result of some global personality trait, it instead arises from individuals' perceptions of themselves within a particular situation. Okay. Inconsistencies in behaviour are not due solely to the situation. Inconsistent behaviours reflect stable patterns of variation within the person. Okay, so I get it. So they're basically saying there's personality, which is stable patterns of behaviour across time and across situation, but then there is variation around those kind of averages. And that is what drives the individual changes or the individual differences that you'll see in different situations. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Makes sense. And then it personality depends on situational variables and consists of cognitive affective units. I would love to read this theory and then try and actually explain it because I have no idea if I've understood that based off a very quick Wikipedia summary. Oh dear, oh dear. The in-group is people who know how to read this paper the first time around without looking anything up. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible. My personality is based on whatever's funniest at the moment. Oh dear. That is that's called masking. Okay. Right. So where are we going? What are we doing? What's the where are we at with the okay, so in the notion of a cognitive affective personality system, intergroup threat could be conceptualized as a cognitive and affective response of an individual in an intergroup setting that's encoded as a potential threat to one's expectations or belief systems. That makes sense. So they're basically saying here, let me highlight this. Otherwise I'll forget what I'm saying. Um, small brain. So they're basically saying that intergroup threat, so that sense of threat from an outgroup, some like people that are part of a different group to us, is a cognitive, so mental processes, and affective, so emotional response. And it is not that it's not that they are just like, okay, those people are scary and I'm scared and, you know, they're threatening and whatever. It's that they are they conflict with someone's expectations or their beliefs, okay? So I think that's what they're saying. It's the difference. It's the conflict, the potential conflict, the potential disagreement between the two, rather than any direct sense of threat. I think that's what they're saying, but I'm really, really not sure. Hi, Sango! Hi! Need to head out for work, but wanted to say hi. Thank you for saying hi. Thank you for dropping by. Hope you're doing well, and I hope you have a good day at work. Belief system, yes. Yeah. So belief system would be something like religion, for example, or politics or culture. Yeah, it's pretty broad. It could be pretty much anything. You are not easily digestible. Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Pineapple belongs on pizza. In group. No. Genuinely, that's a really good example. That's a really good example. That is a symbolic threat. In group, members. Out group, ad watchers. Yes. We need to think of something to do while the ad's running so that we're not saying anything substantial. So how is everybody doing? How are we all doing? I'm not moving on. I'm not moving on until the ad's done. It jump scared me. I didn't even realize it was coming. I think we're just going to get through the introduction of this today, actually. I really don't think that we're going to get very much done. Yeah, but that's fine. We can come back to it. Yeah. Oh yeah, dating sim studies. That was something we were going to look up, wasn't it? Let's do that quickly. Let's do that. My secret is to go into Google Scholar and type dating sim studies. Dating sim studies. Dating simulation games, leisure and gaming of Japanese youth culture. Female-orientated dating sims in China. Players' parasocial relationships, gender attitudes, and romantic beliefs. Okay, so this is clearly a thing. Dating simulation psychology. Dating simulation game psychology. Okay, let's try that. Men's responses to women's... Oh, that's lewd. Okay, moving on. Flirting with danger, negotiating fear and romance with horror dating simulators. I'm so great, I can't wait for it to hit 9 AM and then I crash and fall asleep. You should really be asleep. Never mind, I have an appointment at 12. Oh, I'm sorry. Parasocial relationships, who Tao loves me back. Isn't that a thing? Isn't there a dating sim where you can like date historical figures or something? I can't remember. Let's see. There's a lot of stuff about parasocial relationships. I think that would be really interesting at some point. Virtual social interactions, evolutionary, social, psychological, and technological perspectives. Ooh, that sounds funky. What else? Predicting. No, we're not reading that one. Some of these are like. Some of these dating sims, like dating sim research, are very, very explicitly about things which I don't want to out. So, wait, no way. There's a paper titled Doki Doki Subversion Club. What? Okay, no, I'm interested. You've caught my interest. It's on EBSCO, so it might be a dissertation. Welcome back, ad people. Welcome back. Orishiro! Thank you for the resub. 3 months already, oh my gosh. The time is passing in a way that makes me feel nervous and scared. Okay, I can't access this. This is really sad. Doki Subversion Club. Also, Orishiro, I don't think you've been in chat. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good. Let's see. Doki Subversion Club. Press start journal. Is this a thing? Press start journal. What is the press start journal? Is this like a gaming journal? That's pretty cool. Right, okay. This article investigates the visual novel and dating simulator Doki Literature Club and examines the unique potential of video games as a media form to produce uncanny, gothic, and abject horror texts. In DDLC, these modes of horror are manifested through game-breaking mechanics, such as purposeful glitches and moments where the boundaries of the operating system are transgressed. Through this transgression, the game haunts the player's computer, and by extension, their home. This haunting is achieved through unique aspects of the video game medium, as well as the ubiquitous nature of digital technology present in our lives and domestic spaces. It's Creative Commons. I could do this on stream. I could read this on stream if I wanted to. Should we read it? Does it have a DOI? I don't think it does. What is this? Press Start. Press Start is an open access peer-reviewed student journal, okay, that publishes the best undergraduate and postgraduate research from across the multidisciplinary subject of game studies. That's funky. I love that. I love that. That's so cute. Let me see. What else do they have in their archives? Or in their current issue? What's in their current issue? Oh, okay. This one was published in their current issue. Doki Subversion Club. There's a whole bunch of book reviews. It's mostly book reviews, actually. This was published last year, so yeah, it looks like they publish one issue a year, but they're overdue this year. Oh, they're currently seeking to recruit new editors. That might be why things are not running at the minute. We could actually just read this. PDF. That is a PDF. No DOI, but that's okay because it has an ISSN, so it is an actual journal, and it's yeah okay, so it's done through a university. It's a real thing. You can read this. I think that the person who wrote this would appreciate it. I will save it though. I will save it for when we do actually play Doki Doki. This just sounds like someone made a video essay into a paper. It does, doesn't it? It does. It does sound like it, but I kind of live for that. I love it. Do we have a Discord now? We do, but we're doing closed access at the minute. I'm doing alpha testing because I don't have capacity to like have an open one and then like get raided by bots and then cry. So we're doing a closed alpha at the minute. So yeah. It's basically just like collaborators, and then we invited literally like 5 people. Maybe a bit more than that. No, wait, 5 people and then a few friends as well. But yeah. I've received a whisper, but it wasn't online at the time. I think I sent you one. But yeah, I can send it again. Let's see. Only the best get published here, genuinely. What a great journal. I love it. Press start. We love this. They're late. I'm getting the timer. I'm yapping. I've been missing because of work and my own paper to publish. Unfortunately, it wasn't accepted, but I'm submitting it with my teachers to another symposium. No! Oh, I'm sorry. I've had more things rejected than I care to think about, to be honest. Like, every time that I come on the stream and I'm like, oh yeah, I had a paper accepted, or yeah, I had a grant accepted, it's like, there's been 7 that I haven't said about. Yeah, I had a really painful peer review a little while back. Yeah, it is unfortunately part of the life of getting any research done is just a lot of like brutal rejections, brutal feedback. It's it do be like that. But you'll get there. You just have to the thing about like even if you're rejected, you still get really helpful feedback on it. So yeah, hopefully you can use that to take things forward. And sometimes they just reject it because it genuinely just didn't fit. Like, I've had something rejected before and they were genuinely just like, this is great, it just doesn't fit where you've sent it. Yeah, that's part of the life. It's quite okay. Shall we go back to the paper? Okay, right. So we went on a massive tangent there. I apologize. A number of studies demonstrated that the perception of threat contributes to different types of negative attitudes towards outgroups. That makes sense, right? If you think that the outgroup is, you know, threatening your worldview or threatening your resources, then yeah, you're going to feel bad about them. Furthermore, recent literature suggests a relationship between intergroup threat and attitudes of minorities towards majorities, as well as majorities' negative attitudes towards minorities. Interesting. Okay. So, sounds like the intergroup threat is actually a two-way process. So we kind of traditionally think, like, for example, I don't know, let's use like the obvious example that every country has, like quote unquote native population, which isn't really a thing, by the way. Everywhere is just a composite, but and then yeah, attitudes towards immigrants. But it seems like it kind of goes the other way too. So intergroup threat also affects how immigrants feel towards people that were born in the country. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Thus, intergroup threat is a viable candidate for individual factors leading from radicalization to extremism. One aim of the present study was to further replicate the relationship between intergroup threat and extreme political attitudes in two independent samples. This is interesting because I thought radical was like a subtype of extreme, but I might be wrong. A lot of these words are kind of just thrown around as synonyms, but they're not quite, but they kind of functionally are in the real world. I'm not built for writing papers. If I got criticised, I'd just cry. I mean, I've cried before. There's no harm in it. Sometimes it happens. Yeah, you can be built for writing papers and cry. Exactly. I'm built for crying over my papers. The extent of the extant studies on intergroup threat were predominantly based on self-report questionnaires that are considered to be highly dependent on the conscious awareness of the construct being measured, as well as the willingness of the participants to disclose their attitudes. Yeah, we have this thing called I've forgotten what it's called. Oh god, what is it called? No, it's gone. It's gone. There's a thing with measurement where retrieve. I'm trying. I can't. There's a thing in measurement where people are not very happy to disclose things that might get them into social trouble. Social something. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Social desirability. That's the one. Social desirability. Have you tried turning it on and off again? I need to turn my brain off and on again. But yeah, social desirability. This is where people are less inclined to give honest responses if they think that it might affect them negative, like affect how people perceive them, basically. So like it might affect their social relationships. So if they think that like saying, yes, I hate immigrants is going to make people think less of them, then they're less inclined to say that on the questionnaire. Because the implication is that like there's always someone watching you, even if you're told over and over again it's anonymous. There's still a lot of people that have like a mental barrier, and it's quite hard to tap into what they actually think. Yeah. And then yeah, conscious awareness. They also need to actually understand like what an immigrant is and what that entails. Because if they don't, then you're just kind of asking them pointless questions. I'm gonna drink some tea. Yummy. Okay. One potential solution for this problem is the use of indirect measures. These measures have been labelled indirect as attitudes are estimated based on overt behaviour rather than questionnaire. Yeah, so instead of like going up to people and being like, oh, what do you think about this? And then just trusting what they say, you kind of instead look at how they respond to a situation in terms of their behaviour, and you can roughly group them according to that. So you can estimate their actual underlying attitudes based on their behaviour. That's the theory anyway. Comedically oversized nya strikes again. Why is it so big? Why is the nya so oversized? It's very strange. I don't know what's going on there. I've tried fixing it and I don't know what's going on. Why? Why? Right. Wait, no. Okay, no, this doesn't make sense. Why? Okay, whatever. 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 Okay. Okay. Yeah. ADHD attacks again. It does feel like it, doesn't it? Whatever. Yeah, whatever. Water bottle. Tuesday. Where are we? Oh yeah, indirect measures. Okay, so as they are considered less transparent to participants, these types of measures have been implemented in socially sensitive contexts. Yeah, so if you're talking about something that's kind of awkward for people to talk about or to respond to a questionnaire about, then you can give them this indirect measure and hopefully it works. I'm just going to highlight this whole bit because it's helpful. Previous studies within the current domain of interest use indirect measures mostly for the assessment of external correlates of intergroup threats, such as attitudes towards outgroups. Yielded both significant and non-significant. This whole paragraph is good. I like this paragraph. Okay, cool. So, we can already see where this is going. They're saying that measuring it with a questionnaire doesn't really work. They kind of have to know what the outgroup is. They also have to be willing to say what they really think. So let's use an implicit measure instead, an indirect measure, and that will give us a more direct reflection of what they actually think. Cool, okay. So, among the best established indirect measures is the implicit association test, which is in which the strength of two associations between two concepts. What? Among the best established indirect measures is the implicit association test, in which the strength of associations between two concepts, such as flowers versus insects, and two extremes of an attribute dimension, such as good versus bad, is estimated based on reaction times and error rates in categorization tasks. Okay. I would love to do this on stream at some point. I should do this on stream. So the IAT, the implicit association test, it's very, very common in social psychology. Like, social psychologists love this thing. So it kind of does what it says on the tin there. Can this be a DIY? Can this be DIY or some copyright test? I think there are open versions of it, so I think you can just do it. But there are also copyrighted versions, I believe. I'm pretty sure that there's open source versions and you can just do it. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty funky. So you kind of have two things on a screen, and it'll be like, I don't know, over here it will say like, yeah, good. Over here it will say bad, and then it will give you like different words from the different concepts that you're testing. So with the insects versus flowers, it might give you like names of different types of flowers and names of different types of insects. And then it tells you to classify them in a way that is kind of like naturally congruent. I guess congruent, yeah, congruent is the word that we use in psychology, but it means like what you'd expect basically. So in that example, like you would put flower words like tulip, daisy, sunflower, those would go with good. And then insect words like, I don't know, spider, stickbug, moth, they would go with bad. And then what you do is you flip them. So flowers would go with bad and insects would go with good. And you want to see if people make less mistakes when it is the association you'd expect, and also if the reaction times are faster. Because the theory is, if it's a association that you make quickly, then you should be faster with the reaction times and you should be more accurate. So if you're putting flowers into good, then that should be quick. If you're putting flowers into bad, that should be slow and you should make more mistakes. I don't know if I've explained that very well. But yeah, obviously that's using a very wholesome example. If Moth was here, they would disagree. They would say insects should be good. So as you can see, there's already a flaw in this, which is that you're making moral judgments. But it's based around kind of social stereotypes normally. So it's used a lot in social psychology of stereotypes, where there might be groups that are kind of, socially labeled quote unquote good, and there are other groups that are socially labeled quote unquote bad. And it can be other things too. It doesn't need to be good or bad. It could be, for example, hardworking or lazy. It could be warm or cold. It could be anything like that. And yeah, we're seeing if people make more implicit mistakes, take longer on the reaction times, make more mistakes when they're classifying. And that reflects stereotypes. And in theory, the longer the reaction times and the more mistakes they make, the more ingrained the stereotype is. What about if we make one and you evaluate it? That would be really fun, especially if it's like. It would be really good if we could do this like anime related. I would love to do an anime related IAT. I think that would be so fun to do on stream. I'm gonna write that down. That's a great idea. I like cute girls doing cute things, and I'm not a fan of shonen, so that would be a good example. Just classifying according to that. Yeah, you can see how this works. I think it's not a very complicated procedure, and I think it does kind of make sense once you explain it. Hopefully, you understood it. I'm really glad, Muggle. Really good. Really glad. Okay, so with that being said, the IAT has been criticised due to its restriction on two opposing categories. Yeah, I mean that's inherently an issue, isn't it? Like it's always dichotomous. It doesn't help when there's multiple things going on at once. And due to the possibility of systematic error resulting from its inherent block structure. That's measurement stuff. Okay. The semantic misattribution procedure is an indirect measure. Okay, this is the thing that's mentioned in the abstract that we had no idea what it was. That's good. Okay. So, the semantic misattribution procedure is an indirect measure that has the potential to avoid these shortcomings, as it allows comparing stimuli from more than two categories that are sequentially presented in one single block. In each trial of this sequential priming task, participants are presented with a prime of a certain semantic meaning, such as stereotypically male or female occupations, and that is subsequently replaced by an ambiguous target, such as a Chinese character, after a brief interval. Participants are then asked to guess the semantic meaning of the target, for example, whether it's a male or female name. Okay. Although they're instructed to ignore the prime, it's assumed that participants transfer the semantic meaning of the prime to the target. Okay, so you show people a word, and then you show them a symbol that, I mean, I'm assuming that you have to, if you're doing Chinese characters, you have to filter out people who speak a language that uses them. But yeah, and then the assumption is that you will kind of implicitly just continue it on, basically. So like if you see, I don't know, let's what's kind of, lots of people associate nursing with women, right? So let's say you see the word nurse, your brain makes the association women, and then when it flashes up the character, you're more likely to assign it a female name. I think that's what they're saying. Cool. Okay, that makes sense. It would be cool to make an analysis on Smiling Depression and Itadori Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen. I've never watched it. That's the problem. I'm like really, really behind. Really behind on my anime. Like the only anime that I've watched this year so far is I watched Frieren, and I watched rewatched 4 episodes of Cardcaptor Sakura, and that's literally all I've done. Like it's really bad. I've been so busy that I just haven't had the time. And then like when I do have the time, the rare times that I do have the time, like on a weekend or something, I'm just so tired, and I'd rather do VTuber stuff. I'd rather just hang out with Husbando. So yeah, but I do want to. I would love to do like I don't know. There's a part of me that really wants to do video essays at some point just to try out the style. I think it might work for me. Because I'm kind of better at writing things down, I think. I'm not sure how I would do with narrating it, but that's a problem for me. It's crazy how they invented inventory swapping speedrun strat glitches for the human brain. I hate that that's accurate. I hate that that's accurate. It's because we're very lazy, actually. We take so many shortcuts with our brains. It's like we're trying to minimize the processing power at any given point. Okay, right. That's important. We've got that. Cool. Relative attitudes can then be derived by subtracting mean ratings of targets following the primes in one category compared to targets following primes from another category. Okay, yeah. I missed a bit. I need to highlight that sentence too. Yeah, so you can literally just take an average basically and then compare them. Yeah, that makes sense. Apart from their validity in various research areas such as personality, S&P based measures have been proven to be internally consistent. Average Chromebax alphas is 0.86. That's not great, but it's not terrible. And stable with an average, I think RTT is like correlation over time, 0.43, which is also not amazing, actually. But then that's fairly common for these kinds of issues to happen, to be honest. As no such measure exists to our knowledge, this study also attempted to adapt the S&P for the assessment of intergroup threat. Apart from the aforementioned methodological advantages, an indirect measure of intergroup threat could also be useful in research exploring different types of social cognition. In this study, convergent and discriminant relationship between the S&P paradigm, survival multiplayer paradigm, and self-reported intergroup threat and external correlate. Okay, so this is like a measurement paper. Okay, cool. I genuinely didn't know. I was just like, look, this has things that we were talking about. We were talking about this earlier, so let's read it. Hi, Bumble, welcome in. What are we reading about? We're reading a paper which is about the relationship between right-wing attitudes, conspiracy beliefs, and intergroup threat, which is how people feel about different social groups aren't them, basically. So if they feel like out groups, external groups are a threat to their jobs or a threat to their culture or stuff like that, whether that's linked to conspiracy theories and right-wing politics. Yeah. Okay. How far through are we? What time is it? I gotta be done by past. Okay, right. We can do this. We can get through the next section in 20 minutes. We can do that. Okay, let's go. Okay. Minecraft, yes. I should play Minecraft one day. Add it to the list of games that I will one day play eventually when I'm done with my PhD. Cry. Okay, right-wing authoritarianism is a tendency to hold on to coercive social control, obedience, and authority. That is part of it, but there's also the tradition. Okay. It's an important precursor for both symbolic and realistic intergroup threat. Right-wing authoritarianism is characterized by negative attitudes towards groups, often social minorities, that are perceived as a threat to the values or ideology of society. Okay, that's more like what I was expecting them. There we go. Cool. This is the important bit. Okay, so right-wing authoritarianism has been consistently linked to negative attitudes towards minority groups, but not always minorities, but normally minorities that are a symbolic threat to the person and their in-group, perceived as a threat. So yeah, that's that culture. So you see this a lot with traditional religious communities. They can often have higher right-wing authoritarianism. Right-wing authoritarianism is actually associated with a whole bunch of stuff. The really interesting thing, me personally, is that right-wing authoritarianism is associated with negative attitudes towards vegetarians. Which makes sense because they are a socially subversive minority group, right? Psydere is that person you see at the library highlighting the entire page. I have a reason. I convert them all into a note. because then I've got like a condensed version of the important bits of the paper. I don't like sit there and just highlight everything if I'm reading it like on. The Terra has a function that I'm using. Don't do that. Yes, don't do that. Community server? I would love to. I would love to. I'll ask Husbando if he has the ability to. He does have the ability. I know he can set one up. It's more, do we have the time to make it function? Okay. In a recent study, Sturmer and colleagues found a strong correlations between symbolic intergroup threat. Why do they keep saying that? It's just symbolic threat. Don't do that. That's annoying. The symbolic threat and right-wing authoritarianism, and the approval of radical means against Muslim immigrants. Okay. In an online sample of 485 non-Muslim participants. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I mean by like the social threat. Like they're seen as affecting our culture. That's something that you see quite a lot. Dysfunctional server for the dysfunctional people is so true. So true. Hi, Lord to Basil. Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you're good. Okay. Another mindset that shares essential features of extremism is the belief in conspiracy theories. Douglas and colleagues defined conspiracy theories as attempts to explain the ultimate causes of significant social and political events and circumstances with claims of secret plots by two or more powerful actors. So basically, in short, there's an outgroup that is powerful and secretive. They're doing stuff behind the scenes, and they're doing it for their own gain rather than the greater good. From a social psychological perspective, conspiracy beliefs can be seen as some kind of in-group favoritism because ascribing the responsibility for negative events to others can serve as a means to protect the individual collective self-esteem. Yes, this is true. This is true. I've never seen it framed as in-group favoritism. I've always seen it framed as like out-group trust. So that's interesting. I like that. I might fall asleep to sci papers, but that's what ASMR is for, right? Yes, yes, it is. It is. Also, I swear the ASMR paper will be coming at some point. I just haven't had time to sit down and record it. I need like a full like 3-hour session to just sit down and record it. That's the problem. It will be coming eventually though. The relationship between conspiracy beliefs and outgroup power appears less clear. Conspiracy theories often ascribe causes of negative events to either relatively powerful groups, such as influential governments. As an anonymous reviewer pointed out, however, other conspiracy theories focus on relatively powerless groups, such as immigrants or social minorities. Yeah, so I'm not sure about that statement, actually. If you look at conspiracy theories about social minorities or well anything, any kind of group that's kind of, when you look at it objectively, they rank lower on the power in society. But it's not about whether or not they are actually powerful, it's about whether they are perceived as being powerful. So I think a really good example of this is well, they've said immigrants. I think that's probably a good example. If you look at it objectively, let's take the UK context as an example. So people that are moving over from Muslim majority countries, they tend to be fleeing some pretty bad situations. They come to the UK with really not much most of the time. If they do, and if they're, sometimes they come and they're educated and they've got, they've got a job lined up and stuff, but sometimes they don't. And when you look at it objectively, consistently, yeah, those ethnic groups tend to be worse in terms of their discretionary income. They tend to be worse in terms of their educational outcomes. So they clearly do need support, and objectively, they're not a powerful group. However, it's the perception that they are powerful. It's the perception that they are secretly doing something subversive to change society. That's the thing that makes it a conspiracy theory. So I don't actually agree with that anonymous. I think that might be jumping the gun a little bit, just because you, as a reviewer, look at the situation and go, "Oh, well, they're objectively a less powerful group." That doesn't mean that the individuals who believe the conspiracy theory see them that way. So is this related to narcissism? It can be, actually. It can be related to narcissism. Narcissism is interesting. So it's this idea that like you have a high opinion of yourself. You've got like what should be high self-esteem, but it's actually very unstable. For example, you might think, let's take me. I'm great. Say if I think that I'm really, really good at like describing papers to people, right? But then I always need to be going, right chat, you understand what I mean, right chat, you get what I mean, right? Yeah. And then you always feel pressured to be like, yes, we understand. That would be kind of what I mean. It's like, I think that I'm good at it, but I don't really believe that I'm good at it, so I need to constantly get external validation. That would be what narcissism is. But it actually, you can see the same thing at a group level too. You can have groups that they think that they're superior to other groups, but they feel the need to validate that against other, say for example, by comparing themselves to other groups, or by asserting dominance in certain ways. So yeah, I'm trying to think of an example that isn't offensive, but they're literally all offensive. Every time I say, I can't, it's really hard for me to come up with examples because everything that would be used in the literature is like an example that would be offensive to somebody. Yeah, I don't know. So for example, if like anime VTubers thought that their models are just always better than furry VTubers, I don't know why I keep using this example. But yeah, they always think that their models are better, but then they need to get validation by, for example, putting down the models of furries. Let's use that as an example. Or maybe anime VTubers use more live 2D models and furry VTubers use more 3D models. And so they're like, oh, 3D models are trash. Why would you even bother with that? Live 2D is obviously so much better. That would be collective narcissism, so the group level narcissism. Is this real? Hi, Dapper Sapper, welcome in. True, you're good. Thank you. You're good at streaming? Thank you. I'm trying my best. Like how Vegeta always says that he's strong because he's a Saiyan. Yeah, actually, that's a really good example. Yeah. It's like the constant need to like assert your identity and like seek validation, being like, yes, of course, yes. It's exactly that. I've seen examples at schools with cliques of people. Yeah, you can. This is the super interesting thing about group psychology, is that like I talk about it on a societal level because that's where my research falls. I'm kind of like the quote unquote sociological social psychology. But you can see the same thing in like personal dynamics. If you've got a small group of friends and then they've got like, oh my gosh, it's like goths and preps. Like, it's like every American high school thing ever. Yeah, there's like intergroup threat between them. Yeah, they did offensive to furries. They did IRL models before it blew up. So true. Rant owners were the original VTubers, to be honest. You're in for some shit when the anthropomorphic raccoon with the highly detailed feet on the table crosses his arms in his response to the drama video. Oh no. That's a very specific description, Lankuri. Did you come up with that just now? That's impressive. If you did. Imagine having a whole different personality just to rant. I know. I'm just consistently British. Emos versus scene. Yes, Ravenclaw muggles. Emos versus scene is a really good example of like divergence within a group leading to it fracturing, and then an intergroup context within a group that was previously a whole group, right? They were the same thing, it's just some of them were colourful and some of them weren't. So Andy Serkins is the first VTuber. Oh no. Okay, right, back to the paper. How have we forgot? We've got 10 minutes, I've got to go fast. Okay. Right. Although these target groups might be objectively low in power, they are not necessarily rated as powerless by those who believe. Oh, they just said the thing that I just said. My bad. They already objected to the reviewer in the same way I did. Okay, that's fine. I didn't actually read that before, I promise. I didn't actually know that. I just didn't read it. Incredible. Instead, it has been argued that assuming that these minority groups are powerful is enough to assuming they're powerful enough to carry out a plot might be one necessary precondition for some conspiracy theories. Yeah. I would argue the same. Indeed, conspiracy belief seems to be more strongly related to negative attitudes towards high status than towards low status groups. Imhoff and Bruder, 2014, for instance, found moderate correlations between conspiracy beliefs and threat elicited by high power groups such as politicians and managers, but only weak correlations between conspiracy theories and threat elicited by low power groups such as immigrants, Roma, and Sinti. In a student sample. Okay, but that's in a student sample. I think that might be very different in a non-student sample because students are early in their career and also they tend to be a lot more liberal. They've got a lot more contact with immigrants in particular because there's loads of international students at universities. So I don't think that that's going to be representative. I think that for a non-student sample, the immigrants would actually be swapped into the high status category. Or they'd be treated in the same way as the high status categories. Roma, Sinti, they would be treated the same probably because everybody Europeans are like, we're not racist, but Roma, yeah, it's quite bad. It's quite bad. Discriminability of measures for intergroup threat elicited by immigrants thus might be expressed through weak or zero correlation. Okay, cool. It's kind of what we'd expect then. Though, I don't think that that's true necessarily, but yeah, it depends on how the people conceptualize immigrants in terms of power status. I think that's the important. I don't know if they've measured that though, but we'll find out. We'll find out next time because I need to go. I need to go, unfortunately. I could never. All I ever do is rant, so there won't be a moment where you see other personality. This is me. This is what I meant when I said I'm always British. Like, we just always rant all the time about everything. It's like, oh, the weather's bad. Time for me to be angry. But except we're not even angry. We're like passive aggressive. We're passive aggressive. It's quite bad, really. Not ideal. Let's see. But you said it in a dumber way for us. Wait, that sounds bad. I'm not saying it dumber. I'm saying it more accessibly. From the stereotypes, Europeans could be racist towards French, British, Italians, and each other from different parts of the country. This is very true. This is very true. Yeah, there's a lot of like weird, not sectarianism, that's not the right word, but like the equivalent of sectarianism for national groups, if that makes sense. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Balkans, yeah. Hi, Professor Dutchy, welcome in. Yeah, no, the Balkans are a thing. There's a thing. Let's see. Who should we raid into today? Let's go have a look. Have a look. There is a common enemy that's a bit more present, but the Balkans are weird because if it's the common enemy I assume you're referring to, some of them really don't see it as an enemy. Balkans is very complicated in that way. Let's see. Where should we go? Okie dokes. So, here is my plan. Damn Europeans, they ruined Europe. That's a Simpsons reference, right? Yeah, so here's the plan. I think that today we should go and raid into Shiori Pon. So Shiori is a I think Filipino VTuber. But Shiori is also a medical doctor. I think a surgeon. But the very, very cool thing is that I think it's like 70% of the proceeds from their streams go to patients. So it goes directly to patient surgery funds, which is extremely cool. So I think we should go and share the love there. So I've already put the raid message up above there. Hi Doc Rex, welcome in. I'm sorry, we're just ending up. And hello, oh gosh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna absolutely butcher your name. Yvare Kurup. Yvare Kurup. I hope that I've said that something. Something near correctly. I really hope that I got somewhere near correct. I probably didn't. Please whisper it later. Will do. Close enough. I tried. I really tried. But yeah, let's go and raid into Shiori. I don't know what's going on here. It says Omori, which I think is a game that I'm going to play at some point. But there's a video up at the minute. I don't know what's going on. I've forgotten how to do things. This one. There we go. I can do it. There we go. I got this. I got this. Okay. I got this. I got an ad break instantly. Very cool. But yeah. That is the plan. Let's go say hi to Shiori. Let's go cut people open. Exactly. I have a bad feeling about this. Oh no, is it bad? Is the game bad? Not bad, but like, I know it's like, yeah, something. Oh, it's Shiori's affiliate anniversary as well, so make sure to say happy affiliate anniversary. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining. Hydrate, thank you, no. I would do that. We did some R, we did some paper. We've done something educational today, I think. Kind of. Kind of. We attempted. Yeah, thank you all for dropping by. I hope you all have a lovely day. And yeah, I guess I will see you at some point. I think that there might be something happening later on in the week, potentially. But I wouldn't know. Keep an eye on socials. Yeah, so I will see you another time, and yeah, enjoy Omori, I guess. I'll probably just disappear off to go and do some work, so yeah, I might not stay in the chat for long. But yeah, see you then. Bye.